writing proposal letters, and it will be in English. So if you have any questions or if there are some words that you don't understand, please raise your hand, because I really want this presentation to be effective and useful and understandable. Okay? And plus it will be interactive, because not only me will do the talking, but you will also participate. Okay? So the title is Killer Proposals. Tell me, how often do you write proposals in your life, and what difficulties do you face when you write proposals? So why you decided to come to this seminar, to come to this session?
Your question is very complex. To start, who write proposals? Yeah. Who write 10 proposals at once? Yeah.
Not me. So, okay, what difficulties do you face when you write proposals?
Sorry?
What difficulties do you face when you write proposals?
From what sentences to start proposals? After hello.
Yes.
If this should be as a text about technology when we are experiencing it, or it's some conversational, I don't know, how are you? No, not how are you, but some introduce, I don't know. Introduction, yes.
Actually, how the structure of the letter, how to build the letter in correct way, I mean, in a way the client understands it correctly. Actually, the client understands as I want to present him. I mean.
So, is your proposal based on some requirements, right?
Okay, maybe we have two cases. First cases is proposals in Skype chat mode.
Oral proposal.
No,
It's
not
not
oral.
oral?
I mean, it's sending short messages.
Okay.
And second, it's when you understand the technical issues that and you write more complex proposal as document as document.
As a whole document. Yes. If it's like sentence by sentence, or if it is a whole document. So it depends what you write on the way you write it, whether it is the whole letter or it is just correspondence by Skype, right?
Yes.
Okay. How would you define proposal? What definition would you give? What is proposal letter?
We propose ourselves, our services, our products.
Your services, your experience, your knowledge, that's how you can fix this problem.
How we could be useful to the client,
How the client will.
You should prove in the proposal that you are the best choice for this job. This is the main goal.
Yeah, how can you achieve this goal? How can you prove that you are the best? That client should choose you. How can you prove that?
That's why we are here. Yeah, very simple.
You should describe your advantages for this job.
You should describe, you should specify why you are the best. Okay, here you can see definition of the proposal letter. This is a formal business letter, which is sent by an individual or a company to another party to present their idea or business proposal, which can benefit both of you. That's important, which can benefit both of you. So not only the client benefits, but you also benefit. In what way do you benefit from this deal, from this offer? How do you benefit? Of course, money. What else?
Reputation.
Yeah, it should be interesting, so the project should be interesting for sure.
Well, if you offer some goods, they're not always interesting. If you do the project or sell the goods well, you don't only get money, you get reputation.
You advertise yourself.
Yeah, you advertise yourself.
And your brand.
Good.
So there can be an offer to some specific clients, and there can be like public offer to a lot of clients or to future clients or probable clients? It depends.
As I know, when you search for projects, offers, you may have a percentage, like you get a percentage. The more projects you had successfully done, then the higher percentage you have, right? Your ID or how it is called. So the more projects, the better, as I understand, right? But of course, projects should be interesting for you. You should benefit from that as well. There are 4 types of proposals. Do you know what types of proposals we are talking about?
Business.
This is style. It can be formal, it can be informal. I
Legally
suppose,
illegal.
I suppose your style is mostly informal rather than formal, right? 4 types of proposals. The first type is called internal proposals. Do you have any idea what it means? What is internal proposal?
Maybe have internal client within the company.
Yes, this is when a proposal is done by a certain department or division of one company. So here we are talking about internal consumption of the service that is provided. Solicited proposals. What does that mean? Solicited proposals? Do you know the notion of RFP? What does it mean?
Request for proposal.
Good. Request for proposal. Request for proposal is clear with this, yeah? So when you have a request for proposal, it is called solicit proposal. So if your proposal is written as a result of request for proposal, this is solicit proposal. Because before you wrote it, you analyzed request for proposal. Unsolicited proposal, the opposite to solicit proposal, it means that there is no request for proposal. And sole source contracts, this is when company wants to get a proposal only from one individual person or only from one company, because that person or that company proved to be reliable and responsible before. So that is why it's a sole source contract. So more details, again, these types of proposals. Internal proposals are written within a company by a particular division, department, group, or individual to persuade the top management to support an idea or project. This is clear, yes? Next type, solicit proposal. This is when a company is formally invited to submit a proposal. They receive a request for proposal, which is RFP. It can also be called request for quotation or bid invitation. Bid invitation. What I also saw at different forums that you often call it pitch. Not proposal, but pitch. Have you ever encountered this word? Do you know the origin of this word? Who is pitcher?
Baseball.
Yeah, the one who throws the ball. Yeah. So from this you have word pitch. So it can be called bid, pitch, or proposal. So maybe bid and pitch, those are informal words for proposal. Unsolicited proposals. These proposals are most risky to write because they may be very time-consuming. They will take considerable amount of time and effort, but you have no guarantee that you will be hired and someone will be interested in the product or service which is offered by you or another company. So, as a rule, companies do not write unsolicited proposals unless they have solid reasons to believe they can win the client's business. Have you ever written an unsolicited proposal?
It's like a cold email or cold call, right? When I approach the client, my services offered.
Unexpectedly, you mean, yeah?
I expect that I will call them, but they don't expect me to call
Yeah,
them.
they do not expect.
Right?
Sort of. So you call your client and you suggest something.
Yes, it's called call.
Yeah, but client didn't ask you to suggest something, right?
Right.
Then yeah, then this way it is unsolicited proposal. Then it can be treated as cold call. And sole source contracts. This is where private companies, firms, or associations contract contract with only one company to supply a product or service. This is known as sole source contract and is generally established, used when a company has a good track record of reliability and performance. So let's sum up. What are the types of proposals? Sole source contract. Good. 4 key questions that you face before you write your proposal. The first question, how do you set up your planning process? What do you understand by that? Well, of course you should plan. You should plan your time. You should plan your resources because searching the right request for proposal is time consuming. Then writing a proposal is time consuming. And you should really plan all these factors. Because when you found appropriate request, then you need to analyze how you can fix this problem. Then you write your proposal. So all this should be planned. How do you elicit requests for proposals or locate job opportunities? This question is again about the processes which are going on before you write a proposal. So first you analyze and you choose appropriate requests for proposals that you want to deal with. How do you choose which jobs you should target? It's like which project you find interesting, which project you find useful for your experience, and of course which project is financially grounded. And how do you write a winning proposal? This is what we are going to discuss today. How you can make your proposal a winning one. What are the characteristics of a winning proposal? The first one, evidence that you clearly...
Can you slow down a bit and
okay, come back?
go back? Yeah.
Go back. How do you set up your planning process? How do you elicit requests for proposals or RFPs? Or locate job opportunities? How you choose which jobs you should target and how you write a winning proposal. It's like planning, prioritizing, choosing, and writing. Can we go on? Okay. First characteristics, evidence that you clearly understand the client's problem and situation. How do you show this evidence?
Asking the right questions.
Asking the right questions and beginning of your proposal letter is vital. Because if you start your proposal letter not in a proper way, the client might not keep reading it. So if you start from emphasizing this evidence that you clearly understand the client's problem and situation, then the client will continue reading your proposal.
Just offer the solution to the problem.
Yes, this is what you should start from, actually, because you may start from describing yourself, your experience, your background, but it's not interesting for the client. Of course, it is you need to indicate it, but you may do it somewhere in conclusion or whatever, not in the beginning. A strategy and program plan or design that the client feels will solve the problem and produce the desired result. It's a very good idea to indicate different graphics and plans and schemes schedules, like include all necessary attachments that are peculiar, that are needed for this project, because it will have positive impact on your education and on the outcome of this offer, whether you will get this job or whether you do not get this job. Clear documentation of your firm's qualifications and capabilities for carrying out the program plan. As for the qualifications, you may include them somewhere in the end of your letter, not at the beginning of your letter, right? Because at the beginning, as we stated before, you should indicate the evidence that you clearly understand the client's problem and situation. Evidence that you're reliable and dependable. How can you prove that you're reliable and dependable? Well, if you're registered on certain sites, then your score, your percentage will demonstrate it. Will demonstrate that you're reliable and dependable. If no, then maybe you can put some references, certain links, and then if client is interested, he or she may contact your referees. The convincing reason why the client should choose you over all the other ones competing for the job. So you should have this unique selling point, something different. So maybe your proposal is better. Maybe the design of your proposal is better. Maybe you have better plans. So something should be better. Your proposal should be competitive, not average. Maybe you have bigger experience in this area. And finally, your proposal should look like a winner. Even if the style of your proposal is highly informal, it should look nice, it should look appropriate, and it should have correct grammar. Do not make mistakes on purpose. And even today, when, not today, but these days, when I was preparing for the seminar, I was looking for requests for proposals, and really, grammar of those requests is horrible. And you may understand, like, you may actually decide whether you want to work for the person who doesn't care about grammar of his or her request. So maybe if this person doesn't care about grammar of his or her request, then maybe this person doesn't care about the project as well. So you should take it into consideration. Do you have questions on that? Structure of, I wanted to go back to this point. Evidence that you clearly understand the client's problem and situation, the first point. Because sometimes it might happen that the problem that the client wants you to fix is not actually that problem. Maybe the problem is somewhere else, and you manage to see it, that the problem is somewhere else, that it lies in some other aspects, not the things that the client indicated. So you should, of course, indicate it as well, and it will be your unique selling point. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. Structure of the proposal letter. Use the proper salutation. Salutation is the very first thing, like saying hi. Of course, Mr. and dear should be used in formal style. If it's informal, then you just write hi, and you continue writing.
But often you do not know the name of the client.
If it is formal style, then you just write dear Mr. or dear Mr. Mrs.
So it's okay without name?
Yes, it's okay. If you don't know the name, then what should you do?
Isn't-
Dear Mr. X?
Is it not better just hello?
Possible, yeah. If it is informal, hi or hello.
Dear sirs can be also.
Sorry?
Dear sirs.
Dear sir, madam.
Would you recommend to use more formal way or more informal way in modern, for example, work or freelance?
Guys, it depends. It depends on the request for proposal. If the request for proposal is highly formal, then your style should be highly formal. If request for proposal is informal, then you may resort to informal style, but without mistakes.
But in most cases, we do not know the client.
But what is your proposal based on? Like the startup project or what?
It's
No.
a job description in some trade.
Description of the job on the market.
You just you just demonstrate the services that you can perform, yeah?
The client details are ignored.
Then you wanna put it on the website, yes? You wanna put it on the website, or it doesn't matter, or you wanna send it to different companies?
It's individual proposal. It's per job proposal because every job is unique, and then you need to write like custom proposal for that specific job offering. And usually that job offering is with limited description. It just may state that I need some company or freelancer or whatever that will do my work, and all the idea I will use to do some details will provide it later on.
If you have such description, I need some guy to do this or that, or I need some company to do this or that, of course it is informal. If you have a description like our company deals with this or that, now we are in the process of establishing this or that, but you will immediately see what style it is. You write your proposal in the same style. If you have doubts, then use semi-formal style. Don't be too informal and don't be too formal. In the end of the session, I will give you a list of useful phrases. There you will have 2 columns of formal style and informal style. So take some phrases for formal style, take some phrases for informal style. This way you will be semi-formal. It could be a nice way out. In the first paragraph, give a short idea about what the proposal is about and what benefits you will get if you sign the deal to work on the project. So the first paragraph should include the core information, the technical information, short idea about what the proposal is about. Not about yourself, not about your previous experience, but about the benefits client will get if he or she signs the deal to work on the project. You benefits the client will get and you will get from this project. In the next paragraph, give a brief explanation of your proposal and the main characteristics of your offer and the benefits you're expecting from it. So here you specify the result, like what will be the result of your cooperation, and here you specify how you will achieve this result. So first you give a result, and then you talk about the ways how you are going to reach this result, to achieve it. Then you may already tell about your company, services, experience, previous projects, that you have enough experience to work on this proposal. At the end, you should put a concise summary of your project just to make every perspective more clear. So, proper salutation, short idea about what the proposal is about, brief explanation of your proposal, and tell about your company services and stuff, and put a concise summary. That is the structure. Now, I suggest that we have a bit of interactive activity. You will get a couple of letters. Your task will be to identify proposal letters. To find proposal letters among those letters. How many people do we have? I think it would be a good idea to subdivide you into 3 groups. 3 groups will be enough. So Yulia, Yura, and me. 4, that would be 5. 5. We should take 5 people. Okay, you may use this. You may use the table for the work. And Tanya, who will also belong to the first group. Andy, Yura, then we have Marta, Igor, Vitaly, Olena, 5 as well. And Sergiyu, Snezhana, Rostislav, right? Rostislav, Yura, and Natalia. Please come together. Open the file. Actually, here you have 5 or 6 letters, so each one might be responsible for one letter. So each person reads the letter and defines whether it is proposal letter or not proposal letter. Is the task clear? Not clear? Yeah, so you read an article, you decide whether it is proposal letter or not.
Okay.
Someone takes someone. No, I think each person is responsible for one letter. When you have people who found proposal letters, share the proposal letter. Sorry? Not only one. Not only one. If you have doubts, then make a common discussion whether you think it is proposal letter or not proposal letter. And just share it with your colleague.
So I've got a proposal.
Why do you think it is proposal? Discuss it with the guys.
In the very beginning, we had idea of how to cut down costs for some service, and the person promised to reduce the cost. Then he's talking about his experience and what was done, and about his track record. This is his reference, something like that. It looks like one.
That one letter doesn't look for me as at least a proposal. It's just asking the provider to extend or to decline the current contract. In that way, the formal letter asking for the unpaid. I won't say that it's a technical proposal. What about you?
It's some kind of proposal.
I was thinking that it's proposal because from start this Tom write about benefits, benefits and perspective. He writes that before
Вони зразу кажуть, що вони можуть брати. Вони вже вгадують, що клієнт хотів
say 600,000 people will see immediately important size. After that, he writes that if this stand will fix the contract no, he will get a special class and special rate. Not typical, but cheaper. And
So done?
kids. And it will be a good idea to read every paper and after that.
Yeah, you may swap them.
Time.
Swap поменяться.
Yeah?
No, I
Okay.
have to.
No, you can finish this one and okay.
More, not one. So done? Right. Let's analyze. You may see the same letters here. Let's do it one by one. For this letter, we analyze it. Do you think this proposal letter or no? This proposal. Yeah. The best one? Yeah. The best proposal. Why it is the best for you?
The solution to the problem from the very first sentence. Right here.
Well structured.
It's directive and theory.
It shows what you can give
short, precise.
They describe previous experience, how they do.
the client sees your benefit.
Yeah, it is nice. It is nice to start your proposal with such eye-catching statements. Are you interested in having the cost of your company by 30%? No, I'm not. Then we promise to review. We have how the company have done, and then the enclosed proposals show. So I suppose the information which is enclosed is form this one. And presented to the beginning of your message.
The proposal,
Sorry?
when we have letter about my idea of the letter is to complete the
finish it, and this company wants to extend contract for another 2 years. Is it proposal or just?
You're talking about another letter? No, I'm just asking.
Yes,
That's
yes.
another letter.
Everybody is discussing.
This letter, I understand that you're searching for an employee, then aggregated from the enclosed resume. What's that? Is that proposal letter?
It's job application.
It's cover letter, but still it can be also considered as proposal. Why not?
It's covering letter, so it's a different thing. Yeah, covering letter. You know what is covering letter? This is what you attach to your CV, to your resume. Yeah, in some way it is similar to proposal, but in covering letter you enlarge on your experience, on your education, I don't know, your
skills,
strength, right?
It is
Like
possible.
extended CV?
Sort of.
But you should state what you can offer the company you're applying for a job.
Yeah, so this is not a proposal letter. This is covering letter.
When I write for the cover letter for third person, it's also cover letter or not?
If you write the cover letter, it's cover letter. It doesn't matter who you write for.
I mean, if I recommend
Another person. Then it's letter of recommendation.
It's a recommendation. It's a recommendation. Okay.
Or the person indicates that this is a reference and you write a reference. Letter of recommendation, reference letter. This one, what's that? Is it proposal letter first?
No.
No, it's just a memo. It's a memo, short memo. Dear Stan.
It's a proposal.
Why is it a proposal?
Because we see perspectives there proposed. After we see benefits, if you will write it immediately, and after finalize the period.
So it's a proposal letter. Yeah. Good. Next, this one. You're pleased to inform that to submit. What's that?
Invitation letter?
It's
Request for proposal.
Yes.
Isn't that?
Yes.
Request for proposal.
a proposal. Okay.
Request for proposal. Most probably, the answer to this request for proposal will be proposal letter, but of what type? Since the company cooperated already with that company that it wants to get services from.
Sole source contract.
Yeah, so it's going to be sole source contract, sole source proposal. And let's see if this is last letter. Is it proposal?
Yeah, we now submit the proposal.
Yeah, a key phrase. A key phrase. Clear can, obviously. We now submit a proposal so in those proposals you see the style, formal style is preserved because you have dear and then yours sincerely. So such ending indicates that the style is formal.
It's not more a proposal, but showing off how great the company is, but not what it can offer.
I think the real proposal is in the enclosure. From the enclosure, you will
We
approve.
keep sending feedback from our clients. It's what they've done, not what they're going to do.
So, one project. We now submit a proposal for our. It's a proposal.
Yeah.
It's proposal, but it's more enclosed documents. Enclosure. We will approve the present business strategies. But still, it is proposal. And that's it. That's it. So what else you observed from those proposals? The style is formal, the structure is preserved, and you liked the first one most, yeah? This one. Good. Now let's talk about common questions that people make in writing their proposals. Common mistakes. Not questions, common mistakes. Yeah. 10 mistakes that proposal writers make again and again and again. What mistakes can you name in your presentation? Before we end our presentation, what mistakes can you name?
You do not understand the
Typically-
problem of your client.
Good. What else?
Don't start well.
Good.
You make mistakes.
Spelling mistakes, grammar mistakes.
Proposal writes like for every client. It's just typical text.
What's your problem?
Typical text, you mean cliche, yeah?
Yeah.
So it sounds cliche. You should really avoid that. It doesn't sound cliche. There should be something different. You do not want to look like all other guys. What are cliche phrases?
Even if I write something that it's not a cliche phrases, but I will post the same text for every client, this will be like a mistake.
What cliche phrases can you name?
Young, fast-growing company.
Yeah, you will highly benefit from hiring me, or I'm the best candidate ever, something like this. So avoid such cliche phrases. Do more actions than words. There should be more actions than words. Not being a request for proposal compliant. Compliant means yeah, not corresponding.
It's not related to the RFP, right?
Not related to request for proposal. Not related to request for proposal. So you should really understand whether you meet the specified requirements or not. Merely complying with the request for proposal. So maybe you see that merely means a bit, yeah, a bit complying with the request for proposal. So you may meet some requirements, but other requirements you do not meet. So you should meet all the specified requirements. Not optimizing against the evaluation criteria means that after you're done writing your proposal, when your proposal is ready, you should read it again and analyze it from the customer's point of view, from the customer's perspective. So if you were a customer, would you consider this proposal or not? Put yourself in the customer's shoes. Failing to pass the so what? It's when my company or I have done this and then the customer asks, so what? So if you fail to pass this question, it means that the customer will not be interested in reading on. Not saying why the customer should select you. Again, as I mentioned before, you should offer something more. If you offer more, if you have this unique selling point, then the customer will be interested in you. Not thinking about what it will take to win. It's very similar to the previous point. There is a notion like think outside the box, right? Do not be like others. Try to offer something different, something extraordinary. Making it all about you. A huge mistake because, again, when you start writing, if all your sentences start from I, or we, then you make everything all about you. You should avoid it. Do not make it all about you. Yeah, you should insert some information about yourself, but not everything about yourself. If you see that all your sentences start with I, V, change them, substitute them. Stating universal truth. Universal truth, those are sentences like quality is the most important thing we all hear to, for example. Yeah, we know that. The following question will be, so what? Yeah, so what? Not owning the result means that the result actually should be indicated at the beginning. Again, as I mentioned before, you start your proposal with stating what will be the result of your cooperation, and then you specify how you will achieve this result. And building to be finished. Make a concise summary. Summary is needed, just to clear all the issues, to clear everything out. Questions? And 5 mistakes in more detail. Failing to get to the point within the first few seconds. It is okay when you open up with simple hi, or I hope you're doing great. Well, such phrase would be okay if it is informal style. Or first of all, I just want to let you know I love your work. Well, if it is only one sentence, then okay. But if you start talking on and on about your company or your experience, then you completely go off tangent. Like off tangent, you digress, you get off the point. But you should get to the point. You should get straight to the point. Mistake number 2, failing the Sesame Street test. Have a look at the picture. What associations do you have with that picture? Sorry?
Muppet Show.
Yeah. You have never seen this show? Small one, well, anyway. Sesame Street, well, it means that your writing should be clear and understandable. If your reports and emails can't be understood by someone who watches Sesame Street is a show for kids. For example, first grader. A boy or a girl goes to first grade. You fail the test and you should rewrite them until they are simple enough to be understood. Even if you are of the advanced level of English, still your sentences should be simple. People should understand you. Why? Because people are busy. They do not have time to think over your sentences and decipher what the sentence means. People have no time to think. Well, it's logical. And people are stupid. Why stupid? Because
Just
no time to think. No time to think, and probably people had a hard, long working day. They just do not have enough energy on reading and deciphering the information.
Could you show the previous slide? No, next. Next. No, next.
Next.
Yes. Is this hi, or I hope you are doing great? Is this formal?
No.
And what we can use for formal?
Nothing.
Nothing? Okay.
If you had previous contact with that person,
Yes.
then you may write it. If you had no previous
I hope
contact,
you are doing great. It's if it
you
was
have a previous contact
Yes.
already with that person.
it's okay.
It's okay. If no previous contacts, then just hi.
Okay.
I don't know such phrases. Well, it also depends because for Americans it's okay to ask how you doing, even if you see this person for the first time.
What is more formal, hi or hello?
Hello.
Hello is more formal.
Yeah. Good. To ramble on and on, do you understand the word ramble?
Going around.
Yeah. Вокруг да около, скажем. Плыть в воду. Ramble on and on. Sesame Street, people are busy, no time to think, and people are... Got it, yes? To pass the Sesame Street test, your pitch or your proposal or your bid should satisfy the following criteria. This KISS abbreviation. Keep it simple, stupid, and short. Be short and simple. Use simple words and sentences, and so that you can be easily understood without much thought. It is related to the previous one as well, to the previous slide.
What should we write if you just want to present your individual services? It's not a company, but yourself. It's not a good idea to write I many times, but in case you are the only person which is offering a service, what should be done in this case? How to avoid this?
Well, if you just need to demonstrate your experience, yeah. If you write this thing, I mean, individual proposal.
Yeah, for example, some company can start with one person, and it happens. In this case, it couldn't be written like we have done this and so on. But when you write I, that's a good idea.
Well, we'll paraphrase your sentence so that it doesn't start with I. Okay, give me 2 sentences that, for example, give me an example and we'll try to paraphrase it.
Here I got a letter which starts with we, and I saw that what if it's not, what if it's singular, one person? What should be done?
I will try to paraphrase so that not each sentence starts with I. Okay,
Right.
2 sentences, but not all 10 sentences that start with I.
But a few sentences could be.
Few sentences, yes, as good as your individual proposal.
Exactly. It is a solution for the problem. It can be done.
Make
like
it in
that.
Maybe can help.
My proposal is I can do this.
We'll talk about passive voice a bit later because
Okay.
there are also issues around passive voice. Mistake number 3, not customizing your message to match your audience. Analyze your audience and make your proposal appropriate to the specific audience. Not using spell check, having grammatical mistakes. You shouldn't rely on spell check programs for sure because they can let you down. If you do not have a sufficient level of English, ask someone who has a high level of English to proofread your proposal or to proofread your covering letter. Don't rely on Google Translate and stuff like that because you may get horrible results. And mistake 5, not giving enough details. You should be concise, you should be clear, but still, if you write only 2 sentences, it won't be enough. So at least some details must be clear. So be concise, be short, but give all necessary information. And when you write a proposal, you should provide a solution, right? But I really like a sentence. Give your client enough information, but don't tell everything. You should give your client enough information, but don't tell everything, because if you tell everything, then your client might use it. And
solve his problem.
yes, solve his problem on his own. Plus, for instance, my husband, he's not a freelancer, but recently he started taking a couple of projects, not depending on his work. And he started cooperation with one guy. It was also like freelance project. And the matter of money, because usually you agree that the first transition of money you get after some part of work. You do not get money in advance, but when you complete some part of work, then you get money. And he completed this first part of his work, and the client started like, well, this part includes another part, so you should finish another part, then I will pay you. And so he was like, well, they had a lot of correspondence, a lot of communication, so my husband completed this task. And then he started again, like, you should do this and this, then I'll give you money. And then he realized that it's kind of a trap and a trick, so you should really be attentive to your client and to your customer. And the basic problem was already started already initially when from their beginning of their cooperation, because clients didn't give enough details about himself. It's like he had a lot of details, a lot of information about my husband, but my husband didn't have enough details about the client. Because he used a fictional name on Skype, and it was impossible to find him on Facebook, for example, so it's like he was non-existing person. So it's your right to be interested in the client as well, because such things might happen. Maybe you also have some negative experience in this area, or you haven't had such things. You're attentive to customers. Good. And now again, we will work in groups. You will get 4 proposals, but these proposals contain mistakes. So you should find those mistakes and suggest some improvements for those proposals. You should make suggestions for improvement.
We work in groups.
Yes. There are 4 proposals, so there can be 2 people working with one proposal. Just one proposal. Oh, you can run that. Great. You may.
What did you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. You should write.
What do you mean by
It's all about you always want to work with startups to get such great experience and nothing more advantages for the company. You don't know nothing about the results, the benefits,
the work will be done?
Like advertising of how many clients we've got. It's called Given. Yes. They just offer services to someone who there is no name as well. They don't know who they can see. They offer these services.
But they don't specify what kind of service.
They specify that they send visitors to
As a product.
the site with the price. This one, yeah. It's maybe done a bit better.
Yes.
Okay, what do we have also to share with?
This letter is something
Horrible.
I can understand from this letter and also forth. So
The letter is the next day.
What's going on?
Something like using even stop things like
No, it's all about typos maybe and spell checkers.
regards. Wow. Really interesting. Yeah, different. Okay.
It's just a mistake.
This is total mistake. Totally. By the way, of introduction, I think you want.
It's perfect for you.
Can anybody tell me about this phrase? I show this email quite too well. Yes, yes, for Americans, do you write other languages? Yeah.
Exactly. There's a lot of typos. No, it finds you well. It means that when you read this, you can know that you are fine, you feel great.
Yeah.
It's a common phrase for me.
Actually, also the states right, I hope this will find you in the version like that. Yes. It's done. In good mode, yeah. From my experience, I have.
So let's deal with the mistakes.
Really? That was quite enough work. Work like for a year or 20 years.
This letter. What's wrong with this letter?
Вот, only.
Yes, a lot. Really.
Everything.
There's a lot about feelings.
Not enough details and just too
There's a letter written from the customer that should be in a separate line.
Plus this phrase, this is the kind of an opportunity I always always wanted, and I cannot lie. Because I cannot lie. It's too much. It's too much. I would be super happy also. Why?
Very young.
Maybe.
Excited.
Very young, very ambitious. Here what I can bring to the table, and knowledge.
I believe this kind of letter can be successful for some kind of position.
Well, if it's a reply to some blog or whatever, if the style of the offer, of the job offer is the same, but if it's a reply to some formal,
That is horrible. But anyway, I suppose it's too much. Even the style of this form.
but HR manager can pay attention to the letter because of that.
If the startup has no money and the work for free.
What about this letter? Hope this email.
We like to smile.
There is a ground.
There is a sentence. I understand from your blog that you do not wish to receive pitches about product services, but if you will allow me, you know, this is conditional, you can choose will. Actually, it's not a mistake. You can use will after if you want to be very polite. Yes, will can be used.
Not very polite. You don't want to receive pictures, but I will send you.
If by any chance you allow me to explain, it's like will sense by any chance.
What is the optimistic weak side of this, weak point of this
Letter?
letter? I don't understand.
That it is not RFP compliant. From the sentence, I understand from the law that you do not wish to receive pitches about products and services. So if you see that client customer doesn't want to receive it, so why do you continue writing that? It can be just a waste of time.
He tried to get last chance.
He's wasting the time of the client.
You get last chance when there is written, you have a last chance, but it's written, I don't accept offers or proposals.
It depends on what was written by the client with the customer.
And what wish to receive pictures?
In what tone it was written. This letter is horrible from the viewpoint of grammar.
Too many grammar mistakes.
Too many grammar
The
mistakes.
structure is also not right. Regards and
Yeah.
hello is missing.
So everything is wrong, structure is
And,
wrong, a lot of grammar mistakes.
Просто потік думки, це як сказати.
Flow of consciousness.
Flow of
consciousness.
Flow of consciousness.
Потік без свідомості.
That's one.
It's short and concise.
Short and concise, but
There is no,
But it's all
no actual
about
proposal and it's too much information about
Customers
himself, and so what question? So you can't pass it.
not enough details. The main problem, yeah, not enough details. Should I send you the details?
No.
Should I include the details? And that's it. Yeah? These were the common mistakes. And now we'll talk about grammar in your proposal letters. By the way, would you like to have a break for coffee or tea or let's finish? No. Oh, yes.
Yes.
No. No. This is last writing checklist to remember. This will be before. You write the business. You may take useful phrases with you.
А можна мені виявити waiting?
Doesn't mean that all of you should come.
No, I'm not. All right, thanks.
When you write business letter, you said that you want your key principles and facts and advertising. Short, cut needless words and needless information. You should stick to the point. Get straight to the point. Cut stale phrases and redundant elements. Cut the first paragraph if it refers to previous correspondence. And cut the last paragraph if it asks for future correspondence. Keep it short. Keep it short. Keep it simple as well. Use familiar words, short sentences, and short paragraphs. Keep your subject matter as simple as possible. Keep related information together. And use a conversational style. Keep it strong. Answer the reader's questions in the first paragraph. We already emphasized that. Give your answer and then explain why. Use complete words and examples. Do not ramble on. Keep to the subject. And keep it sincere. Sincere means honest. Answer promptly. Be human and as friendly as possible. Write as if you were talking to your reader.
What it does mean? What does
Right.
it mean?
Sorry?
Right. Answer.
Use simple language. Use simple language. Can we go on?
Yeah.
4 tips for international business writing. Simplify your sentence structure. Avoid long sentences, clauses, and complex sentences. Keep your verb tenses and verbs simple. So forget about past perfect or past perfect continuous. Future perfect continuous. Throw it away. Avoid the use of idioms, slang, and jargon, and cultural references. And group your ideas into shorter paragraphs and lists. Use graphics when possible. If you put your text as a text, like this one paragraph, it can be not readable. So it should be readable, it should be easy on the eyes. Is this clear?
Can you go back? No, I mean. Oh, you will receive this presentation.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want to get it, you can write your email and we'll send it to you by email, and it will be also located on the SlideShare site, and you will get access to it. But if you wanted to have it on your computer, not on SlideShare, just write your email and we will send that to you.
They will memorize it better. Can we continue?
Yeah.
4 tips. Consider this sentence. The new system, which is linked to cloud computing, will allow users to download files, even large graphic files, much faster than it used to take them. Is it easy to read the sentence? Is it easy to understand it? Too long, too complex. How can you break it? Change it, break it down.
Our new system is linked to cloud computing.
It's a long
It's,
Or we can cut even large graphic files.
you may now download files.
Which is linked to cloud computing is driver.
It can also be written like a list of features, which is more acceptable and more easy to just to check and move through it.
Yeah, bullet points. Here, what is suggested. The new system is linked to cloud computing. Users can download even large graphic files much faster. It is broken into 2 sentences, not one long sentences, but 2 sentences. So it is easier to read, easier to understand. But you can use different changes, you can implement different changes, and you may cut some information, you can make bulleted list, it's up to you. This is only one of the possible suggestions, not the ultimate choice. Keep these guidelines in mind when revising your sentences. Revising your sentences means proofreading your sentences. Avoid using several phrases and clauses in one sentence. It was shown in the example above that a lot of clauses and phrases, they make sentence harder to understand. Break long sentences into 2 or 3 shorter ones. Make sure a sentence presents only 1 or 2 main ideas, because you want the reader to understand each point, especially if you are trying him or her to accept your proposal and hire your company. Use transition words, that's very important, to help readers follow your thinking. Your writing should be logical, and transition words might help you in that. Transition words, those are words like first, second, firstly, secondly, finally, as a result, therefore, for example, next, also, in addition, and others like thus, although, though. These words help clarify and make logical connections among ideas in your sentence. Do you use those transition words in your writing? Yes. That's it. Ooh, this passage is also suggested for revision because it is big and difficult to read, difficult to understand. Just read it and give your suggestions for improvement. How can you improve it? What would you change in it?
It should be overwrite.
It should be rewritten, yeah?
Rewritten.
How? How would you rewrite it?
More simple sentences.
So break long sentences into short sentences?
And there this paragraph can be subdivided into at least describing some like intro idea and then what we are proposing in that way. So it's the paragraph itself is long and the sentences are long enough too.
Yeah. So changes must be done. Changes must be implemented for sure. So you should avoid such paragraphs, such complex sentences. You should break them down into shorter ones. This is the same sentence suggested. This is suggested improvement, but actually you see that the length of the passage is the same, or even maybe the passage is bigger, but still sentences are broken into shorter sentences. So maybe it is easier to understand. Use simple verb forms. This is an example of complex verb form. We would have liked to include more precise cost estimates in our proposal. However, the price of raw materials has proved to be too unpredictable at this time. Well, would have liked, this is a complex verb form, which basically means, unfortunately, we cannot. So we would have liked the same as saying we cannot. Unfortunately, we cannot include more precise cost estimates in our proposal. The price of raw materials is too unpredictable at this time. Avoid complex verb forms. Be as simple as possible. And here you have some more examples of avoiding complex verb forms. Would have liked to, cannot. Will be managing, which is future continuous. Just future simple, will manage. Had been using, which is past perfect continuous, just used. Has been extensively improved, is greatly improved. Because is present perfect passive, just present simple, active. Might have been able to work, might have worked, and is able to bring, can bring. Can is able to is synonym to can, but can is shorter. The shorter the sentence is, the better.
Is able is not very long.
But it's longer than can. Try to avoid it. That's just a picture I wanted to show you. It's like when you use very long sentences, very complicated grammar, maybe the reader will lose the attention, will get distracted. So reader, client, customer shouldn't be focused on the grammar, on complex words, complex structures, but the essential thing here is the message. And the client, customer should get a clear message. And the sooner he or she gets the message, the better. You understand the picture? Suicide note. You misspelled useless. One-word verbs instead of phrasal verbs. Native speakers like using phrasal verbs, but actually in business writing it should be avoided. It's not recommended to use phrasal verbs. Here you have some examples. To take issue with, to disagree, make clear, clarify, look at, examine, shut out, exclude, keep abreast of, monitor, talk over, discuss, keep on track, supervise or monitor, bring up an issue, raise an issue, turn down an offer, decline an offer, and turn down the sound to lower the sound. So substitute phrasal verbs with easier words, because you do not know where the clients or customers are from, and you want them to understand you, and they want you to understand them. So why do you use phrasal verbs? This is the question. Use simple words instead, and this way no misunderstandings. Another picture, we also analyze it and make conclusion. One guy invented fire, then another guy invented club. Club is a stick. Club is a stick. And then the third guy invented grammar. It says, hello friends, it seems that I have invented grammar. And they are so happy, like, oh, thanks me, and Grab can communicate far more easily now that we have helping verbs and articles, adjectives, etc. And then the guy who invented grammar corrects him, says drag behind, because in English you first indicate person, then yourself, drag behind, and then you see what is the result of the correction. It doesn't mean that you should make mistakes in your writing, but for sure you should
be correct on others.
you should be simple. This is the key idea behind this picture. You should be simple. Use active voice instead of passive. Very important. Even at some IT companies, they forbid to use passive voice. Why?
It's not personal.
Actually, English speaking, I'm not using it as much as we do. It's just like a post-Soviet practice.
Plus, consider those sentences. Letters are being written, we are writing the letters. If sentence is in passive voice, it means that no responsibility is assigned. We are writing the letters, it means that this is our responsibility, we are responsible for that, and we will complete this task. If you use passive voice, no one knows who is going to do that. Team will be managed, the project leader will manage the team. Results had been reported, the company reported the results. There is important exception. The passive voice is useful when you need to be diplomatic. For example, one of your clients may receive your error in submitting specifications to you for a new power system. You might point this out by using the diplomatic passive voice. So if you want to be diplomatic and you do not want to resign responsibility, then use diplomatic passive voice. We found that an error had been made in the original specifications we received, so no blame is assigned for the error. Diplomatic passive voice. Here, passive voice is needed. slang jargon intellectual references, we covered that. Use short paragraphs, numbered, and bulleted lists and graphics. Next paragraph is just for revision. How can you use bulleted lists, numbered points in order to improve the structure of this paragraph?
Can be split into
each paragraph.
phase 1 and phase.
Can you use bulleted list, numbered list?
For every
Yes.
part that is separated with commas.
Just by back to the number of list.
The general list could be numbered and the sublist could be bulleted.
And even if you look at this paragraph and then, for example, this paragraph and this paragraph, the information is the same. But bulleted list or numbered list is easy on the eye, right? And it is easier to take this information, to grasp this information, which will be good and understand. This is a summary. Simplify your sentence structure. Keep your verbs and verb tenses simple. Avoid idiom, slang, jargon, and cultural references, and use short paragraphs, numbered and bulleted lists, and graphics to present your idea. So, again, I want to ask why we should avoid passive voice. Why passive voice should be avoided?
In the case that no one is responsible for the task.
Yeah, no one is responsible. But what is one exception?
Diplomatic passive voice when you point at someone's mistakes.
Yes, diplomatic passive voice. Good. Now I want us to deal quickly with confusing words because when you start writing something, we mentioned that you can't rely on spell check programs, and sometimes you should have things in your head. So I'm going, again, we will work in groups. So I have 3 words. Try to indicate the difference between those words. The difference between those words.
What should we do with this?
Indicate the difference between the words. Okay, guys, 3 more words. One small group.
So interesting. Okay, let's start. Principle and principle. Principle and principle. In that way. Principle is
describing with the CEO or the line whatever. Yes, exactly. And principle is I remember
Please proceed with this. It's verb.
I also don't know.
If you do not know, just skip.
I will do it later.
Like fast. It's a no. There's no.
No, it's a must.
Maybe skip something.
We still have 20 minutes.
Then we will continue fast.
So accept.
І виключення.
Accept, приймати, accept, окрім. Advise. Yes, so what is noun, what is verb? First is noun, second is verb. Advise, порада, advise, порада. Affect, effect.
Так як і по українськи.
Це пуста якийсь.
What does it mean to affect?
To influence.
Effect, this is result. Compliment.
To add.
To say something nice, yes? Compliment to add something and compliment to say something nice. Compose, comprise. Try to translate the sentence. Це команда складається з 5 людей. The team those words.
Is
Is composed of 5 people, or the team comprises 5 people. So comprise in this episode composes, collapses. So be composed of is used in passive, comprise in active. Formerly in the past, yes, and formally, officially. It's. It is or it has. It's. This is possessive. Received. Later. Later, after some time, and latter, last mentioned. Proceed.
The one that goes before. Proceed and proceed to go on.
To go on, to continue. Yeah. The second one, to go on, to continue. To proceed, to go before. Principle. And principle. Main essential form. Good. Quiet. White. Yeah. Тихий, quiet, silent, and quiet. Rise, raise. Yeah, rise has active meaning, raise has passive meaning. What happens to your salary? Rise or raise?
Nothing.
Someone raises your salary, so your salary is raised. Then. First is comparison, when we use it as comparison, and then тоді. So you may memorize easily because then has got e as when. So in when you have e, and in then you have e, so this is the notion of that. Good. So there are such confusing words, so be attentive to them, not to make a mistake. Because once in one company there was a confusion with the word message because people wrote massage instead of message. So be attentive to such things.
Instead of message?
Yeah, maybe it wouldn't hurt, but still. And the final task for today, we also work in groups. You pick request for proposal and you quickly write a proposal in the group. A brief, concise proposal. Okay? You still have 15 minutes on this task. Pick a card, come to the table and pick a card with your request for proposal. One per group. One proposal per group. Yeah, one per group. You're developers, right? No. No? No. Okay. That's a surprise. Pick another one if this one is complicated. Why? No, it's only related to IT field because I was informed that freelancers from IT field will get to the IT field. No?
Found it on Facebook.
So no developers here at all? Okay, what is your occupation on in Google request for proposal?
Що там, Excel?
Can I ask you for what you have to write?
Right?
Yes, I have.
I have already. It's for everyone. A list of useful phrases you may
You
use.
can use this one.
Oh. No, sorry, I was
So have you started writing? Do you need a piece of paper?
Dear Mr. Stefan, should take.
Should we use these phrases only?
But we can.
Yes, just if to consider this for example. Something like more formal style. But still, we do not have. The only thing that we can at least for example, we were invited. If we were invited, then we would start our proposal like thank you for invitation. This job.
Looking for
No, can we ask a question? Aspirant in our case, it's a one person or no, and if it's corresponding to Ukrainian aspirant or not?
Aspirant? No, aspirant means candidate.
Candidate.
Yes.
Okay. So,